Doing a review for ARM's Micron AM-05 Megatron. The Japanese version of Megatron. It is the deluxe version, not the Voyager version. The first edition Megatron figure. He does come with this little cannon/lugnut-esque gorilla minicon. And here's a picture of him in the back, with everything included. You already saw in the Bumblebee video, if you watched that, what the inside of this looks like. It's just a mostly cardboard insert holding the figure, and then the sprue for the model kit of the Micron and all that. I'm not going to get into that again. Let's just get right to the figure. Now here it is. Again, it's the standard first edition Megatron. You can see that for the most part it's the same. It's the plastic's darker gray. He's missing a few silver paint apps here on the thrusters, but he does have some here on the chest and his face. The silver down here has been replaced, as you can see, with some shiny silver stickers. And he does have a sticker Decepticon symbol. He didn't have a whole lot of stickers actually on his figure. Most of the stickers are for the Micron model kit. You can see he's got a couple of added ports here to peg in the ARMS Micron figures. And they are separate pieces just glued on. I mean, very strongly glued, but if you wanted to, you might be able to pop them off. They're not molded in like some of the other figures. And part of that is likely due to the fact that he was designed before they really came up with the ARMS Micron line. He was the first edition version of the character, and as such was probably never even intended to have these attached, so they made some molds, some ports that they glued on to the mold specifically. Now the Micron itself comes off, and I've actually got the blades on backwards. Let me pop those off and fix those properly real quick before we go any further. I just swapped the sides so they closed up flush back here, otherwise they kind of form wings sticking out the side of the cannon. But yeah, it clips on right here, just like his regular cannon back there. You pop off. You can actually flip the blade forward like that, so you can have a cannon with a blade. It's kind of dull and, you know, whatever. But there's the cannon. We'll go ahead and pop him off, transform Megatron, and we'll get into more stuff with the minicon here in a minute. Megatron, I'm not going to really dwell on this. It's the exact same as the Deluxe. Same transformation. Pop this up. Excuse me. Allergies, a lot of pollen in the air lately. Move that up. Let's get his hands out from back here. Lift this up. And there he is in robot mode. And again, just like before, and very similar to his cannon on the original release, he's got this little slot here that can clip onto his arm piece. It's not super sturdy. It doesn't like to stay there. It will, but it's a very loose connection. Kind of a shame. It doesn't take much to shake it off. However, this piece does, you can see there's kind of a post back here. You can actually flip this piece up and make it holdable by standard peg holes. Although getting it in without it folding up is a little bit of a pain. Now, let's plug it in. Plug it in up here. So you can plug it in standard peg hole like that. And again, the blade flips out if you want to give him a blade here. Oh, did you come off your hinge again? That's the one problem with these. Sometimes the hinges like to pop off. Can't get. Yeah, that's come loose. Okay, let me see if I can't pop this guy apart and put him back together. Or that is one of the advantages of these being model kits, is that something pops off, you can pop them apart and fix it. So yeah, there we go. So there he is with the blade extended. And it is fully functional. Here he is, a comparison with the first edition. And like I said, paint-wise, he seems to be better off. He didn't have the silver down here. This was just solid gray. And he's missing some of the silver here on the forearms. And the gray's a little darker. But overall, he's still passable as Megatron without adding the stickers to him. You're not really missing anything. But yeah. Now, this guy transforms like this. You flip the blades back, open this up. Also, these don't really, when you originally put these together, these kind of like to not stay together very well. You can cut off an end of the sprue, stick it in this post hole, and it'll actually allow this to peg together, which is nice. But you basically, you pull this up, extend this down like this, rotate them all the way around. Wait, that's not right. Okay, just rotate them down like that against the body. This back piece right here folds down, flip the feet out, and then this piece flips around. And there's his little head, and then he's kind of a, there he is, there's your little gorilla lug nut minicon. If we can get up close here, you can kind of see he's got the mono eye on his gorilla face. And it looks like all the Decepticon minicons or Microns have that mono eye look to him. But people have said he looks very lug nuttish. I agree. And with a little bit of paint, he could probably look even more lug nuttish. But very cool little Micron. Now, before, this would come over and cover this piece up, just like this. And it would be a little short, stumpy cannon. You can, however, flip these around and peg them together this way to get a longer cannon. Now what I like to do, as you saw earlier in the video, is the blade, I don't really use the blade that much, so what I like to do is just flip these around. It doesn't affect his transformation into robot mode. Just swap sides on these, and that lets them, instead of having these points come together, it lets them fold up flush and kind of fill in. You can see there's a gap there. Cover that up. And now you have a much longer cannon, which, if you look, we'll zoom in here, kind of matches the detailing of the regular cannon. Obviously, this stick out piece is on the wrong side, and there's a solution for that as well. But even the detailing up here on this little thinner bit works out. And so you can attach this. You can remove this, and you can actually attach this to Voyager Megatron, and it actually looks pretty decent there as a cannon for Voyager Megatron in its extended mode. And I think it sits a little closer and fits a lot better than even his light up cannon does. And while there's this, I like to turn it around like this and plug it into the wrist, because then it really sits like right up against his arm without much of a gap, and looks quite cool. One of the other things you can do, if you want to have it this way but have this flipped around, again, since it is a model kit, you can just pop his arms off, swap them to the other side, pull this up, and you can actually have his cannon with the with this little piece right here that comes out over the barrel in the proper orientation on Voyager Megatron. So yeah, I think figure-wise, if you want the deluxe Megatron, go with the first edition. I think just overall, he's much better. His cannon is designed to integrate and peg on much sturdier to his forearm than the ARMS Micron does. But this Micron is awesome and works very well with Voyager Megatron. So he's worth picking up just for that, I think. And even if I do like the first edition Megatron. My only issue is that this guy right here doesn't really attach to his arm as securely as the first edition does. And like I said, I think it looks better on the Voyager Megatron. But all in all, I think it's a decent package. if you're looking to import these guys. But I really think the Micron functions much better with Megatron as opposed to with the Voyager Megatron as opposed to the Deluxe. Let me transform this guy back here. But yeah, there it is. We'll turn him back into a little gorilla here. There's Megatron and his little Micron there from the Action Master, or ARMS Micron series. Action Master, I'm just saying AM as an Action Master abbreviation. And like I said in the Bumblebee video review, apparently these little Microns are getting their own little animated shorts at the end of each Prime episode that explains the secret world of the fact that all the Transformers and Transformers Prime, their weapons are actually Microns and they're unaware of it, from what I understand. So we'll see how that plays out. But there it is, AM-05, ARMS Micron Megatron.